That brings me to the two sides of the coin, the academic side and the industry side. And you must have heard about, or you must have actually attended the so-called industry academia interaction events, where both sides just blame each other. Okay? I do not want to go into those details, but let me just make it very simple here. Let me draw a simple graph with two axes. So, on the vertical axis we have creation and transfer, on the horizontal axis we have knowledge and products. Okay? So, if you intersect them, you get 4 quadrants. So, knowledge creation is research, okay? Knowledge transfer is obviously education, product creation is development, and product transfer is business, right. Now, typically there are 4 different kinds of people who do these 4 different things. So, scientists do research, teachers or mentors will be doing education or training, engineers do development, and then you have entrepreneurs doing business, right. Typically there are 4 different, we assume there are 4 different kinds of people. In fact, I will go one step forward and I will say that we have this mindset that where knowledge is, wealth cannot be, and where wealth is, knowledge cannot be. I sometimes imagine that if I go in a latest model of Mercedes or Audi, how it will look like, and if a good businessman doing very well goes in a very poor bullock cart or maybe an old ambassador car, let us put it that way, it will look very odd indeed. In fact, people do not accept that. So, professors should be poor, then they are good professors, and businessmen should exhibit wealth, that means they are doing well, right. This mindset is there, I mean we have been drilled into this, right. So, is there hope into that? So, one great scientist who I showed this slide to, he said yes, it is possible, and you are missing the picture there. You have to put a lot of energy, we call it Shakti in India, to bring the two sides together, to change the mental mindset, to change this mental block, right. So, easy to say, okay, sounds good, as I told you I make good slides, okay. Okay. But how do you do that? Because if you go to academia, we have these teachers, IITs, IACs, ISERs, even other engineering colleges, science colleges. I always come across teachers who say, I love to teach, just do not ask me to do research. Or there are some usually younger researchers who come usually from overseas and they say, I work in this fundamental area, I am going to make an impact, do not ask me to teaching, I will just do research, and other kinds of people. So, but then now you know that unless you bring them together, it is not possible to cross all the valleys of death. So, how do you do that? It is like our Chakravyuha of Mahabharata. You can't start randomly anywhere. I suggest you start at the real world. What is real world? It could be a farm or a factory, it could be a hotel or a hospital. I tell teachers that on the day of maybe Saturday or Sunday maybe, go and see the real world, okay, and go and do not judge, just go look at how the farmer is working or how someone is making a dosa or how someone is making a product, industrial product, okay, or how some doctor is treating the patients. And then when the next time you go back to your class, the first 5 minutes of your class, you tell the students, last weekend I was in this factory and then I saw this thing happening, and you tell a story. And one good side effect of that, I tell the teachers who I tell these things, that the students will come to class on time, because they know that the prof is going to tell a story in the first 5 minutes. Of course, you have to make the stories interesting. So, your experience has to be interesting. Okay. Now, what happens is, invariably when they tell the story, some student almost guaranteed will stand up and say, oh, why are they doing like that? Why can't they do like this? But then our teachership kicks in and we say immediately, without even thinking about it, oh, that's so simple, someone must have tried. Oh, that sounds very difficult, I don't think it's possible. Oh, that's very expensive. Or maybe America or China would have done it by now. Okay. Even if you know that what the student is saying is difficult or simple or stupid, do not say that. Just say them, wow, that's a good idea, let us try that. I will tell you why it is important to do that. You tell the student to try that, and then he builds some prototype or something like that, and next time you go back to the farm or factory or hotel or hospital, you take the student with you and tell the student to demonstrate his prototype. Now, two things can happen. Either the person you are showing to will say, wow, that sounds good, I never thought about it, or the person will say, no, we tried that sometime before, but it broke like this. Either way, you have another story to tell in the next class. Except that I usually tell the teachers, next time when you tell the class, take the class, you tell the student to tell what happened last weekend. Okay? And you keep doing that again and again and again, and you can create many more ideas, many more prototypes. Eventually some students will take the idea forward, maybe as a PhD project or a master's project or a startup company. Some of these will go forward. Okay? This is what we call as a golden spiral. Now, this didn't happen just like overnight, and I didn't discover it just like that. It happened that I was doing it subconsciously over the last 30 years, and I'll tell you a couple of stories how we did that. And then I realized that, wow, why that I'm able to do these things and why others could not do. Is there something that I can share with them, that many more can do that? So I have shared this with about 2,800 teachers so far, and looks like some of them have started doing that in different ways. But I'll go back to how it started really.